Hi, welcome to the Good Morning Santa Paula show that we're starting to broadcast now. It was something that was in the making already, and what's going on right now with the coronavirus and the effect it's having on Santa Paula as well as the rest of the world, we thought that this was a good time to bring in some real spokespeople for the city of Santa Paula to update you on where we're at and where we're going in the next few days. It's a very fluid situation, but we've got our city manager here, Mr. Dan Singer. Singer. I was thinking I shouldn't have touched you. And then we've got Rick Araiza, our Mayor Rick Araiza, and they're going to go ahead and give us some updates. Why don't we start with Dan, because Dan's been communicating with the county.
Sure. Obviously, pleased to be able to have a forum to communicate with our residents. It's unfortunate the topic that we're having to talk about instead of discussing things that are of a more positive nature. The coronavirus, as it continues to spread, is becoming a moving target in many ways. And so every day we learn more and we see more action and reaction to it from the federal government to the state level, to the county level, to the city level. I think it's important to know for the public that we're not the county health department. We don't provide county health services, and as a result, we really defer in these kinds of situations to what the county's doing. On the positive side, what that means is anything that the citizens of Santa Paula and the businesses in Santa Paula experience as a result of our local actions is happening countywide.
Yes,
We're not picking on anyone. Anything we're doing out of the interest of the health and safety of our residents, but it's in accordance with what the rest of the county is really doing.
That's very true, and they're keeping everybody updated as far as that goes, because they are the mothership of healthcare as it is.
They are, but we're
in this type of a situation.
We're also putting information out on our new website. Happy to have people go there on our homepage, spcity.org. So www.spcity.org, and look for any coronavirus information that you need there.
Yes, I visited the site. It's very complete, and they've got plenty of links, and it'll take you to the different agencies from the county healthcare, which of course is very important for us because we're all in Ventura County, to CDC, the Center for Disease Control, and we've got all the links. So it really, and VC Emergency, which of course is a very important link, no matter what. Personally, I see this pandemic, as it were, and it is a pandemic. People have to start considering it an earthquake without the damage, as far as having supplies, as far as making plans to maybe stay home and things like that. So, how do you feel?
Well,
do you think people are prepared?
Hopefully, all our education we've had over the last several years, you're absolutely correct with earthquake similar, although you are able to at least get some supplies. But Dan is also correct. This morning, the city mayors throughout Ventura County, we had a conference call this morning. We're all in accord that this is a state of emergency. Each and every city has declared a state of emergency. We will be ratifying that declaration tomorrow night, Wednesday night, at our city council meeting. And we still, everything's so fluid, we still don't even know. We believe we're going to all meet, but most likely we will adhere to social distancing. Dan today in the afternoon is new since this morning. So we're just trying to keep up with the latest. And as Dan indicated, we do not have a health department within the city of Santa Paula. We rely on county health, and we will follow suit with what they hear and what they are telling us to do.
Well, and we're particularly lucky too, because Rick also is our former fire chief, so he is very well versed in all things emergency. And now, of course, being on the council, he's well versed in things, and there are different emergencies, but he's very well versed in that, and that gives me a feeling of confidence that
it's given me somebody to consult with regularly, so that's been helpful.
So what is the latest? I mean,
So,
do we know how many cases? Before I left my office, I heard that there's 6 new cases they're examining in Ventura County that, and by presumptive, they mean that they're still refining the testing. So they say they're presumptive because they've got the symptoms, they might have shown a positive on a local level on a reading, but now they've got to send it to CDC and have them really do the careful testing. So that's what I heard, but so far at this point, we've got 6 presumptive new ones.
That's correct. The result of that is that now we've seen more than a doubling of our small number of cases, which had been just 4. And so it's triggering some further efforts to create that distancing. At this point in time, our public services, like our billing counter for our water and sewer bills and our planning counter for permits and inspections are still open. That may change in the coming days or weeks. We have closed all of our centers just like the school district has. So the community center and recreational activities, the senior center, the teen center, Boys and Girls Club, all of those types of facilities are closed. And the reason that that's happening is because the spread of this virus really has to do with human contact. And so to the extent we can minimize those interactions and those group gatherings, the more likelihood we will get ahead of this thing.
Well, the city also, though, for the seniors, is providing meals.
Correct, and thank you for mentioning that. So not only are restaurants going to continue to try and create meals for people and allow for deliveries and pickups, but the city's senior meals program continues. The school district is also serving meals to students who qualify for their free meal program. I understand just yesterday, the first day they were closed, they gave out about 750 meals,
Wow. Yeah,
which is fabulous.
the elementary school district is doing that at 2 locations, at Glen City School, I believe,
Right.
and Barbara Webster School. So, and they're providing lunches and breakfasts to children 1 to 18. And if you don't have to bring your children, you don't have to bring an ID, they just want to open it up to everybody so people can be fed. And I know with the senior center, they're going to continue to deliver Meals on Wheels.
Correct.
Okay, great, and also
And
pickup.
pickup. And so if you're not part of the senior center or you're a senior but haven't taken advantage of those services, please reach out to the recreation program. Someone will be staffing the senior center and the phone lines, and we'd be happy to include additional people. In that case, there are some age requirements and some income requirements.
And of course, that's the most vulnerable portion of the population is our seniors as far as they're concerned about the coronavirus. And also everybody, be sure to check on your seniors if you have any. You don't have to go and see them, but be sure you keep in touch with people, maybe your neighbors, of course your relatives, but maybe you've got somebody that lives down the street or next door. At least let them know that you're there to run an errand for them or whatever you can do to help them out, because they really are worried about a senior population, even though this virus is like, it's always changing at this point, but at this point it is going for people that are either seniors or queenagers, as I like to call them, and perhaps people that have underlying health conditions. But all this talk about food, Rick, I hope you don't mention, but Rick here owns La Cabana restaurant, my favorite, and what have you been facing as a
Well,
business person?
Obviously, we have been social distancing people that have been coming into the restaurant, but with the recent decisions up north and possibly coming to Ventura County, we will be most likely switching to to-go orders only. I can envision us doing some special dinners in which you can just drive through the parking lot, pick up a dinner, and move on.
That's a great
I know
idea.
We've done chicken dinners in the past, not only fire department, tri-tip dinners, so I can envision something like that maybe happening, and hopefully we get people out to at least just drive by and pick up a dinner or lunch. But I envision that we had talked a little bit about being able to do that with some quick meal that people could come by, and we did that.
And you know, the economic impacts of this are still uncertain, but they're going
Yes.
to be significant. And the longer it lasts, the more significant it'll be. So my message, and I'm sure the mayor's as well, to the community members here is patronize your businesses, please. You know, keep our people employed. Go to our stores. Retail outlets are still going to be staying open. At this point, that hasn't changed. But you know, call up restaurants. Go get your meals there. Go to our grocery stores. Get the supplies you need. Be conscious that hoarding is not helping anyone.
No.
But please, you know, support our businesses so that we stay open and we keep the economy flowing as much as possible during this hopefully temporary hiatus.
Yes. What I've done at my own business, not to interrupt Brooke, and I won't touch you, but what I've done at my own business is I own the Santa Paula Times. I have to get that in. I'm Peggy Kelly, by the way. But anyway.
The mighty Santa Paula.
The mighty Santa Paula Times. And I've got a sign in my door this week that says, we're semi-closed. If most of the business we can take care of is over the phone or via email, and unless you absolutely have to come in, please don't come in. I mean, you know, and most people have been very understanding, and I think everybody realizes that everybody's in this together.
Yeah, yes, that's something we've talked to our staff, and unfortunately, Lackawanna will still be there in 2 or 3 months if that's what it takes. I'm concerned with my staff. My waitresses rely on their tips, and yeah, they get a salary, but their tips are almost double their salary, and they'll be losing that, and we discussed that with them. And I actually tried to find some jobs for my cooks in another means, because they're also losing jobs. So we're really concerned with our staff. Some have been with us over 25 years, and we hate that they're going to have to go through this as well as us. But for us, we've been there 40 years, and we will survive this, even if we have to shut down for a couple months. But I'm concerned with my staff that's been there for 25 years, and all of a sudden they have no income. So.
Yeah, well, this is something that nobody in the nation's been through before. I mean, this is completely uncharted waters, as it were, and it's so fast. I think the first case was reported, or at least it was reported in a widespread manner, was December 31st. And here we are, and it's March 17th, it's St. Patrick's Day, and you know, I mean, it's just hard to believe that so much has happened, and it just keeps accelerating. But I think the main thing is now is that everybody's acknowledged something's happening. We're preparing for it, and I think it's emotional. It's been an emotional toll, I think, on everyone too.
And I think it'll get harder as the days go on, and the isolation continues, and the access to supplies gets harder, and the activities that we're used to, whether it's working out or socializing with our friends. So, you know, we want to be mindful. There is a good resource for help if people need it, and it's called 211.
Absolutely.
Don't call 911 unless it's a true
Right.
emergency, but do call 211, because if you need to get to a clinic, or you need some help, or you're having, you know, a friend that has suicidal thoughts or
Absolutely.
needs resources, financial or otherwise, that's a great hotline for those kinds of
Yeah,
services.
it's a social services hotline.
That's right.
Yeah, it's a wonderful, wonderful thing.
It's something that we definitely have
Thanks
to
for
be
bringing that up.
cognizant of. I know for our family, we love to go to, whether it be a softball game or high school baseball game, and see kids that we've seen grow up throughout Santa Paula, and that's all gone. We can't even go to a movie. So your whole lifestyle is going to change, and hopefully we get back to the regular routine in a couple months, and we can go out and see those little league games that I'd love to go see. Up and coming kids play and see, and remind me of when my kids were playing. And now I miss that. I see other people that are coming to the restaurant and their kids are playing. I say, oh, when do they play again? And I'll go see their game. And that's the things that I miss. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, and this season just opened, so it's really sad. Yeah, because, so I guess what we're going to have to hope too is that they do something as far as, you know, because with the children home now, there's parents that can't work perhaps, and I mean, it's got so many different rollouts of what the effect is on the economy and on people, and a lot of children children, and you know, it's very important that parents with their children home, read with your children, have them read a book, maybe tell them to do a little mini book report or something like that, and just keep their minds active too. Just don't have them stare at a phone or anything like that, because they're going to be seeing things that alarm them about this, and I'm sure they're already having cases of children being emotionally distraught about because they don't know what's going on. I know as an adult, you know, it's hard to grasp what's been going on. This is
It's mind-boggling.
Yeah.
It's
It's
just something
mind-boggling.
that in our lifetimes we've never seen, so.
And,
Yes.
And it creates anxiety for people. And it's tough. It's been tough for our employees. We're in the business of giving service, right?
Right.
Of helping the community, of providing services, and we're being told to stop doing some of that, and it's painful.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, as a fire chief, the same thing.
Mhm.
In any event that we've ever had, we'll go, we'll put the fire out, we'll provide the service. We go home and
Right.
now we can relax. That isn't happening right now.
Right.
I'm going home and still worrying about what's the next thing, and what's gonna change, and what do we have to get ready for.
It's traumatic. And you know, the first responsibility of government, as we're all aware, is to protect the populace.
Right.
And so now everybody has to join in that, and we have to protect each other. Now, I might add, I know we're not social distance far enough.
I'm 6 feet away from you.
You are?
Yeah, aren't they using a Zoom?
Zoom lens are right to
Zoom
closer.
lens. Now, I have one question. What is working out? I've heard that term used in the
Yes,
past.
it's stress release. There's only 2 ways to relieve stress, right? Drinking or working
No,
out.
yeah. Well, I really appreciate both of you. You're so busy, and I understand that. And it's so important that, you know, that people be informed. And this is the best way to do it, is really just to let people know that everyone's aware. Everybody's posting updates on their Facebook pages and websites and all that jazz. And, you know, it's just something that you have, the main thing you have to do at this point, like we've discussed, is not panic, don't hoard, and stay home. You know, I mean, really try to stay home as much as you can, especially if you're a queenager, if you're over 65. And we're all in this together, and we're gonna
Yep.
write it out together, and then we'll be talking about this in retrospect, hopefully.
Let's hope
Very
soon.
soon.
Yeah.
Let's hope so.
Let's hope this get over.
Any last remarks, or?
We'll
Okay,
look forward to some updates as we know more.
okay, and thank you so much, Dan, I really
Yeah, well, thank you
appreciate it.
for hosting this.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank
To
you.
the
And thank
K-8
you.
team.
Yes. Yes, and thank you,
Stay
everybody,
safe out
for
there.
watching, and exactly, stay safe
Yep.
and stay informed. That's the most important thing.